because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
Angel, pray up. Me bound Reese, I hope you listening. It looks like that line was for my precious CC. How she pulled up in your...
Remember that cringe Reebok ad where Angel Reese was all, come to your trap, take over your trap during All-Star weekend? Yeah, about that. Caitlin Clark didn't just come. She stormed in, owned the joint, flipped the lights on, and turned Indy into her personal playground. Meanwhile, Reese? Nowhere. Another perfectly timed injury. The irony? Chef's kiss. Clark stole the spotlight in Reese's backyard, and Reese disappeared right when it counted.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs. And if you guys didn't see that game today, there were as many Fever fans as there were Sky fans.
It was so cinematic, you'd swear it was scripted to clown Reese. Clark rolled into Chicago like a rock star. Fans mobbing the United Center, kids screaming, selfies flying. Meanwhile, Reese vanished. Back injury, sure. While Caitlin signed 200+ autographs and turned the sidewalk into Fever FanCon, Reese was busy posting cryptic stuff online, watching her moment melt away.
Now, see, this the real version of walking your trap and take over your trap. Look at this. Look at that.
Oh my God.
All them jerseys. I would hate Caitlin too. And I wasn't even aware. Wasn't this supposed to be Barbie night or something? Come on, Caitlin walked in and took over, and she didn't even play.
The so-called trap she claimed was hers got straight up hijacked, and not by force, but by talent, grace, and real star power.
So Caitlin Clark is not playing the game. And like, by the way, like, people didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark play on the off chance Caitlin Clark would be able to sign something. She was there. She spent like 20 minutes autographing everything.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap.
The contrast couldn't have been more brutal if it were scripted. Caitlin Clark, injured no less, was out there delivering for fans like a true star. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, the so-called face of Chicago, was a ghost during the city's biggest weekend. Clark showed up and shined. Reese vanished. This is what happens when you chase clout instead of building your own legacy. Eventually, the spotlight tells the truth.
I think this is what means when you walk into your trap and take over. She in your city. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I forgot about that tweet. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. I just realized that. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way they came out with that.
And here's what really seals it. Caitlin Clark didn't even play. She didn't have to. Her presence alone stirred up a frenzy. Meanwhile, her Fever teammates took the floor and made a statement of their own.
Money Mitch put him in a ditch, and Michaela Timpson treating the Chicago Sky like a bunch of Simpsons. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Might be scorching hot right now. You have been so good on the road lately. 6 straight games, 24 points a game. How are you off to another hot start in a hostile environment?
I think about just staying in rhythm. And when I stay in rhythm, about being aggressive. So as long as I'm aggressive and being myself, they make it easier for me.
Kelsey Mitchell came in with something to prove and no time for games. From the jump, she lit up the court, draining threes from every corner of Chicago and capping the night with a blazing 35-point clinic, including 7 from beyond the arc.
Kelsey Mitchell, 7 for 10 from the 3-point line, off the start, 8 points quick. You knew, oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. Oh, Kelsey Mitchell's hot today. This might be her game. Let's keep the hot hand in. Let's keep the hot hand going. Let's set her some big body screens, get her open. Kelsey Mitchell, she did it all. 7 for 10 from the 3-point line. She got to the rack. She got to the free throw line, carving up the defense, looking like a little snake, how she just slithers in and out of that defense. Kelsey Mitchell, salute to you.
This wasn't just basketball, it was a statement. Mitchell turned hostile turf into her own gym, proving the Fever are more than just Clark and Co. Even without Caitlin running the show, Indiana showed its depth. Mitchell grabbed the spotlight, carried the franchise, and delivered a gem that screamed, "Don't count us out just because Clark's on the bench."
She lit them up. I mean, she was on fire. On fire. She couldn't miss. I mean, everything was in the flow of the offense. Effortless, man. We got to give love to Kelsey Mitchell. 12 of 19 from the floor, 7 of 10 from 3, 35 points. Straight stirring the pot. Stirring the pot. She was cooking there today. Kelsey Mitchell was on one. She was on one. She was a plus 25 for the game. The Chicago Sky are a flat-out joke. This team is terrible.
Aaliyah Boston didn't just show up, she took over. Her 14 points and 11 boards weren't flashy, but they were brutal. She owned the paint, dismantling Chicago's front court with smarts, strength, and surgical footwork. Every touch was a masterclass in making elite players look average.
Cardoso running the floor. Gets denied by Boston, returning the favor. Boston finds the cutter. It's Timpson who lays it in. That ends the 11-0 run. Here's Mitchell. Flips it in, wide open Boston. Tracks it back down. Off to Boston. Backdoor, Mitchell the cut, and the finish. Tough bucket from Kelsey Mitchell. Get Kelsey Mitchell.
While Boston dominated inside, Ari McDonald came off the bench and delivered again. 10 clutch points, cool under pressure, like she was built for big moments. She wasn't even part of the original plan, but now she's writing herself into Indiana's story. And this win? It wasn't luck. The Fever controlled the pace, shut down every Sky rally, and played with ruthless precision. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement.
Here's Mitchell, who has 15 in the quarter and a season-high 6 made threes. Hull will fire and hit at the horn. Big finish to the third from Indiana.
That 93-78 score, it flatters Chicago. This felt like a 30-point thrashing. The Fever dominated every category: shooting, rebounding, defense, energy, you name it. And they did it all without their franchise star. That's what real contenders do. No excuses, just execution. Meanwhile, Chicago, at home, season on the line, and they folded. Out-hustled, outshot, outclassed. Indiana hit nearly 50% from deep. Chicago barely cracked 31%. That's not just stats. That's culture, preparation, and mindset.
Let's go. Let's go. Yep. The really good thing about having quality depth is when you don't have it, somebody else does. And KK? Hey! KK! Yeah! Way to step up. Chloe, great job coming in. Good job. Lex, way to come in and make an impact. Kel,
Indiana's bench came up big. Nalissa Smith and Lexi Hull gave key minutes that kept the momentum alive. They're not just filling space, they're keeping the standard high and letting the starters breathe. That depth matters in a playoff push. And defensively, the Fever forced 17 turnovers, turning the Sky into a panicked mess. Constant pressure, constant disruption. Indiana never let them settle.
Indiana run after Chicago had cut it to 2. Poked away by Timpson. There's the deflection. Off to the races. Timpson finishes strong, forcing a timeout from Chicago. A 9-0 Indiana run, and the lead is back to 11.
Michaela Timpson, the rookie, all season long, when she's gotten minutes here and there, has made the most of them. We've seen it on the offensive end. Then here, just getting her arms in the passing lane, the deflection, finishing a tough look.
This wasn't just one bad night for Chicago. It was their 5th straight loss. Injuries, rotations, coaching chaos, it's all unraveling. A team built for the playoffs is now just fighting to stay relevant. The energy's off, execution is sloppy, and the coach looks helpless watching it all fall apart. The front office has a choice: rebuild or pray for a miracle. Meanwhile, Indiana's got stability, structure, and serious momentum. This wasn't just a win, it was a statement. The Fever are rising. Chicago? They just got exposed.
Well, many of you have probably been waiting on this, as have I. But the WNBA All-Star game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out.
J.C. Sheldon's hit on Caitlin Clark's groin sidelined the WNBA's biggest star during a crucial week and triggered a financial crisis the league is trying to conceal. The All-Star game became a ratings flop, but the WNBA remains in denial. The link is clear, exposing the league's real priorities. So how badly did ratings fall without Clark? And what did the commissioner say?
We have numbers for the most exciting, entertaining, overwhelmed with joy WNBA All-Star game we have seen in quite some time. We have ratings for that disaster as well. There's good news and there's bad news.
So what started this? On July 13th, J.C. Sheldon drove her knee into Caitlin Clark's groin during what should have been a routine play. Clark doubled over in pain. Referees saw it and did nothing. No call, no review. Footage shows how direct the contact was. Clark's grimace, her reaction, it wasn't accidental. It was a targeted hit that went unpunished.
These referees was completely ridiculous. The referees was a complete disaster.
And immediately grabbed the inside of that right leg.
This wasn't the first time. All season, Clark has taken elbows, blindside hits, eye pokes, and hard fouls that others wouldn't. The pattern is clear. Players target her, and refs let it slide. It's open season on the league's biggest star.
And last year, I noticed how much it was just Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was taking all the hits. Caitlin Clark was taking all the abuse. But this year they've added Sophie Cunningham. She gets more flagrant fouls on her than anybody in the league besides Caitlin Clark. And Aaliyah Boston, she's been taking hits as well. But the worst thing is the consistency. So they don't call flagrant fouls, or most of the time, Caitlin Clark could be held for an entire game at a time. They don't call fouls. They don't call common fouls. But then when it's the Indiana Fever, guess what? Touch foul here, touch foul here. They call absolutely nothing.
When news broke that Clark was out of the All-Star game, social media erupted. Fans blamed Sheldon's dirty play. But the real shock was the ticket prices. An instant, devastating financial hit.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
Before Clark's injury, the All-Star game was set for record ticket prices, averaging $262, with the cheapest at $121. It was the league's biggest payday until it wasn't. After the news, the get-in price plunged to $64, a 48% drop. Fans dumped tickets, unwilling to attend without Clark.
You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league. And nobody's asking you to hold Caitlin Clark's hand. Just play fair.
You know what this proves? The refs didn't just fail to protect Clark. They cost the league hundreds of thousands in ticket revenue. One missed call turned the WNBA's biggest event into a financial mess. And it exposed just how much the league depends on Clark.
You see, this is exactly what we were talking about. WNBA All-Star ratings are in for 2025, and it is down 40%. 40% from last year. That's bad. That is really bad. We already watched the ticket prices drop by more than 50% because Caitlin Clark was not playing. This is bad news for the WNBA, and this should be a wake-up call.
For the first time all season, Gainbridge Fieldhouse had empty seats during a major WNBA event. It was All-Star weekend, yet patches of vacant chairs replaced the usual sea of Clark jerseys. Her absence sparked a fan boycott the league couldn't hide. Every Fever home game had sold out until now.
It's clear fans sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink.
Clark brings more than crowds. She creates full-scale events. From packed restaurants to sold-out hotels, her presence transforms cities. When she was ruled out, fans flooded resale sites, taking big losses just to avoid a Clarkless game. Merch sales dropped, concession stands were overstocked, and local businesses lost major revenue.
But when it comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was healthy.
Let's be real. This revealed what the league tried to hide. Without Clark, WNBA games are just regular matchups most fans skip. Even with stars like Wilson and Ionescu, interest tanked. But the worst was coming. TV ratings would soon show how many millions tuned out without Clark.
The ratings fell tremendously, and it was an awful game. So that large percent of people who did not watch, they probably had a better Saturday than everybody else. We just got to be real. It was a glorified 4-point shooting contest in a layup line. It was terrible. It was a terrible product, and you guys should have taken it personal to show the world what you can do and show the world you are more than just Caitlin Clark, because the ticket prices dropped once it got announced that she wasn't playing.
The All-Star flop confirmed what everyone knew, but the WNBA won't admit it. Ratings fell 36%, from 3.44 million in 2024 to 2.19 million in 2025, proving fans tune in for Caitlin Clark, not the league. Without her, promo efforts failed. It's not about basketball. It's about star power, and only Clark has it.
We talk about leading up to this. The officiating, I think enough fans had it up to here with the league as a whole. People had it up to here. You got to understand. Caitlin Clark is getting beat up in these games. The refs aren't calling anything. Kathy Engelbert seems to have air between both of her ears. She seems to have pure air floating between her ears. And I think people are fed up. They were fed up with it.
What made it worse? The pay us what you owe us stunt backfired. Warm-up shirts sparked online backlash, seen as tone-deaf entitlement. Players demanded more money while the one driving revenue, Clark, sat injured. Fans saw through it, knowing exactly who powers the league.
It's not about one person, no matter how many times WNBA and Kathy Engelbert say so. That's virtue signaling in the most disingenuous form. It's Caitlin Clark. As soon as they educate the players on how to deal with this, not as petty, jealous petty hags, all will be better off. Yeah. Pay us what you owe us, they displayed on their shirts. Okay. First, they have to give the money back. They can receive smaller paychecks than they currently receive. Yikes.
The viewership data reveals a harsh truth the WNBA can't spin. Regular games with Clark outdrew the All-Star game. Sky vs. Fever got 2.7 million, Liberty vs. Fever 2.22 million, and Fever vs. Liberty 2.2 million. Clark's presence means more than the league's top event. The Liberty know it too, meeting with Clark and her agent. Smart teams build around generational talent, while others pretend veterans can match her impact. Clark's rise highlights a reality many in the league find uncomfortable.
It looked like Paige Beckers has broken her silence about this matchup against Caitlin Clark.
I'm putting against Caitlin in the W. Just what was it like? What was the atmosphere like today going head to head with her?
Yeah, it's fun. Anytime we can compete against each other. We're two competitors who just want to win and who have grown up to be playing against each other, playing with each other. So it's great. And the environment's great here. I feel like every game is a sellout. And so they have a great home court advantage. So overall, yeah, great environment.
Caitlin Clark didn't just beat Paige Beckers. She made a statement that'll echo all season. Their first pro clash was hyped as a battle of future legends, but Clark flipped the script with a 102-83 rout. Beckers dropped 21, but Clark owned the night. 14 points, 13 assists, 5 steals, pure command. Like the court was hers and everyone else was a guest.
Paige Beckers, I'm gonna be real. You did your thing. You nice. You did your thing. But you're not Caitlin Clark. Let's just be clear. You're not Caitlin Clark.
And by the way, she is the best whistle in the WNBA. She hacked Sophie Cunningham and somehow was given as an offensive foul, and she fouled Caitlin Clark on a fast break. Caitlin went flying into the rim post, and the refs just ignored it.
This game was an absolute blowout. Dallas Wings didn't know what hit them. Everybody ate in this game. Let's just jump right into it.
Here's why this wasn't close. Clark dished 13 assists with just 2 turnovers. Absolute control. She wasn't just playing, she was conducting. While Beckers tried to shine solo, Clark led a masterpiece. The hype said rivalry, but the game showed a gap. Generational greatness versus just good. No graphic can hide that.
And for all this Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers comparisons, it's not a comparison. Paige Beckers got a lot of work to do. She's a good player. She got a lot of work to do. She need to get her team to the playoffs. Once she get her team to the playoffs, we can holler. All you Angel Reese fans out there, once she get her team to the playoffs, we can holler. Until then, Caitlin came in and got the worst team in the league directly to the playoffs off the bat. Started out 1-8, went to the playoffs, man.
Paige Beckers has been going through growing pains while she's been down there in Dallas. They have a 6-16 record, and they simply cannot figure out a way to get it done. Now, ultimately, she performed, man. She played at a very high level. She had 21 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. She was shooting phenomenal from 3. Paige put up a good fight, but ultimately her team just fell short, man.
Here's what the league won't say. The cameras caught a blowout, but Clark delivered a mental masterclass. Every steal, every assist chipped away at Dallas's confidence. She's been nursing a groin injury, missed 5 games, yet still rewrites records. Beckers, fully healthy and still chasing. Indiana dropped 64 in the first half. A franchise record. That wasn't just scoring. It was Clark's memo to the league. Last year's rookie, now your problem.
Let's look at these numbers, man. Caitlin Clark, 14 points, 13 assists. Bro, I scored in the game. I scored in the game, bro. Like, come on, man. Just magnificent passing. Only 2 turnovers. She's only had 4 turnovers total in the last 2 games. Really think about that. 24 assists to 4 turnovers in the last 2 games. Okay. Okay.
Here's the twist. The media keeps forcing a Clark versus Beckers rivalry, like Paige is Caitlin's kryptonite. But reality checked in, and in 40 minutes, Clark shredded that storyline and left the hype in ashes.
Caitlin Clark, I'm not joking when I say this. Caitlin Clark is Demon Caitlin's back. Demon Caitlin's back. Caitlin swats JJ Quinterly. Watch this here. She swats Quinterly. She screams in Quinterly's face. She then gets the ball, looks straight up, and throws an inch perfect pass to Sophie Cunningham for a layup. If she throws that pass 2 inches lower, it's stolen. 2 inches lower and that pass is stolen. Like, that is something that no other player in this league can do.
That's what we're talking about when we are referring to Caitlin Clark running the show.
Is this what Stephanie White needs to see? To finally say to herself, oh, all right.
Here's what actually matters. Efficiency. Clark's 13 assists and just 2 turnovers weren't luck. She created chances out of thin air. That's the leap from star to transcendent. The media won't say it because it ends the "is Beckers better" talk fast. And remember her 2025 opener? A triple-double versus Chicago, 20 points, 10 boards, 10 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals, in a 93-58 rout. While others shook off rust, Clark was already in gear, making vets look slow. She's not just good, she's the league's engine.
New York Liberty, we can beat them. We already did. The Minnesota Lynx, we can beat them. We already did. We can beat anybody if we play in this Caitlin Clark style. That's just a fact. There ain't a point guard in the world that could mess with her at all. It's not even close.
The Indiana Fever dictated when they run like this. I don't believe there is a team in this league that can beat the Indiana Fever at
And
all.
Hull will
Let's
bring it
go.
up.
Hull, Lexi Hull coming down the right here.
Clark being blocked
She's
by
got the
Isaiah
ball.
James.
She's
Clark
gonna take a step
sidestepping
back, way
three.
downtown. Bam. She got it.
Stat-wise, Clark's unreal. 19 2 points and 8.4 assists as a rookie, and now she's leveling up in year 2. Vets are feeling the heat because the future isn't coming. It's already here in number 22. But the real quake? It's psychological. 10-year pros are now chasing a 23-year-old who's making their milestones look like scrimmages. That messes with a locker room. Envy, respect, denial, all brewing at once.
The Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. The game wasn't close past the first quarter. We're up by 1 in the first quarter, and that second quarter, we destroy the Dallas Wings in that second quarter. That second quarter, we're, absolutely bombing away. That second quarter, Aaliyah Boston, 7 points. Natasha Howard, 10 points. Caitlin Clark, 5 assists in a second quarter. When her assist numbers are high in a quarter, you know they're playing Caitlin Clark style basketball. You know they're pushing the pace, pushing the tempo up.
I'm surprised Stephanie White didn't have a heart attack. I'm surprised she didn't bench all the starters coming out of the half. I'm glad she didn't. Seriously.
If we take the second half against the Atlanta Dream and the first half against the Dallas Wings, that is a 40-minute span of what looks like Caitlin Clark basketball.
Here's where it gets embarrassing. Instead of embracing the most marketable star the sport's ever seen, the league spent Clark's rookie year trying to humble her. Petty headlines, bitter vet jabs, refs swallowing whistles. They didn't just ignore the red carpet, they yanked it. And yet, Clark flipped Indiana from league punchline to powerhouse. Scoring records, packed arenas, and 23 teams suddenly playing for second. That's the Clark effect.
The playmaking. Y'all see the playmaking, bro? The backdoor passes. Come on, once the 3-ball start rolling again, y'all really in trouble. You see the post game posting up Lil Quinterly. Spin off of her, step back, midi. Y'all said she didn't have a midi. Okay.
When Caitlin has the ball, they are the best show in basketball. And it's easier for Kelsey Mitchell. It's easier for Aaliyah. It becomes easier for Natasha Howard if she buys in. It's easier for Sophie. It's easier for everybody. And then when you've got Ari McDonald, who showed today, by the way, that when Caitlin is off the floor, she can push the tempo too. That is exactly what we wanted.
Caitlin Clark running the offense, being the innovator of offense, the distributor of offense for the Indiana Fever. This is exactly what we mean. Right here.
Look at how her teammates thrived against Dallas. Kelsey Mitchell hit 20 on 67% shooting. Natasha Howard added 18 and 2 steals. The whole squad played like they couldn't miss. That's the Clark effect. She shifts the game's gravity, runs the offense like a chef in charge. Everyone eats. Indiana had 29 assists, 1 off the franchise record, and Clark created nearly half. She doesn't just score, she amplifies everyone. That's why the Fever suddenly look rebuilt overnight. Beckers can get buckets, but Clark makes the entire machine purr, and that's what makes Indiana scary.
Caitlin Clark is now has the 5th most double-doubles with points and assists in WNBA history. All right, now to put that into some context, she's played 1 year plus into this season, and she's missed 10 games. Think about that for a moment.
Caitlin Clark has reached 200 points and 100 assists this season, the fastest to do so in a single season in WNBA history. Oh yeah, folks, this feels like last year, right? Caitlin Clark broke this record, Caitlin Clark broke that record, she hops into the top 5 here. Oh yeah. Today's game was a At least that first half. Woo! Folks, just watch. Let me cook. Let me operate. That's what Caitlin Clark said.
Caitlin Clark showed why she's the best guard in this league. Caitlin Clark showed why, when you give her the ball, the Fever are the best show in basketball.
What's outrageous about Caitlin Clark's rookie year is how backwards the league got it. The WNBA's long chased visibility and star power. Then Clark shows up with all of it. Ratings, packed arenas, jersey sales, headlines. And how did they respond? Not with celebration, but resistance, envy, petty shots, and refs letting her get hacked with no calls. Instead of boosting the league's best chance at explosive growth, they nearly sabotaged it. Her impact? Massive. Fever games became must-watch. Road games sold out in minutes. Cities she visits feel an economic jolt. Hotels, restaurants, media all buzzing. TV numbers? Sky high when she's on. She's the WNBA's growth engine, plain and simple. And in that Dallas game, it wasn't just her offense. It was 5 steals, total defensive mastery. She read plays before they happened, tearing apart schemes before Dallas could run them. Remember when critics said she was just a shooter? That myth died fast. Clark ran the floor like a maestro, switching gears at will, stringing Dallas out like puppets before slicing them up. The media hyped Clark versus Beckers as a rivalry, but tip-off told the truth. Paige wasn't a challenger, just another name on Clark's growing list of outclassed opponents. And the timing, savage. Indiana had been searching for consistency, and Clark responded with a masterclass. She didn't just steady the team, she made them look like a future dynasty in the making.
This is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily. You in Indiana having a great time partying. We see all the clips. Why can't you just do your thing? Why can't you just do your thing?
Angel Reese launched her shoe campaign during WNBA All-Star weekend, aiming for the spotlight. But Caitlin Clark got injured, ticket prices crashed 48%, and interest vanished. Reese ended up performing for no one. Now we break down how it all went wrong.
But can Sarah Spain and the media stop going out there and saying that, the Caitlin Clark needs to do something to stop all this, when it is very clear this is a one-sided beef, and the one-sided beef is not from Caitlin Clark?
Everyone thought this All-Star weekend would be the breakthrough for women's basketball. It was supposed to be Clark versus Reese in Indy, packed arenas, screaming fans, and record viewership that would finally force ESPN to care. It had all the makings of a Hollywood moment.
We do start our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that she could be out.
Then came the shock. Clark's groin injury, announced days before the weekend. Everything unraveled. Fans had flown in just to see her. Hotels were packed. Restaurants bracing for crowds. Sponsors banked on the Clark-Reese rivalry. Nike had drops ready. ESPN called it must-see TV.
It's a story we have been following throughout the past 2 days. Surrounds the superstar herself, Caitlin Clark, the WNBA star, the Indiana Fever star, Caitlin Clark. She's going to miss all the action on the court.
Clark's home state was set to be her stage. Indiana fans were ready to pack Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The hometown hero narrative was perfect, but once her injury hit social media, the hype collapsed, marketing wobbled, and the storyline vanished. The buzz just deflated.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%.
This wasn't just any injury. Clark brought casual fans and real attention to the WNBA. Without her, the league lost its main draw. What was a celebration became a reminder of fragile momentum. Everything hinged on her showing up, and when she didn't, the spotlight faded.
But when it comes to the vendors in the arena, the shops in the arena, they're not going to have the same amount of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was there. The surrounding restaurants, the surrounding areas, the surrounding attractions, they're not going to have the same number of people patronize their business as they would if Caitlin Clark was healthy.
What was meant to be a celebration of women's basketball turned into a wake-up call for the league's growing pains. While Clark dealt with a real injury and left fans heartbroken, someone else saw a chance to grab the spotlight, turning the weekend into a personal stage.
Reebok, Angel Reese are taking shots at Caitlin Clark, using her as promo. Angel Reese, let's be clear here. Let's just be all the way clear here. Angel Reese is a solid basketball player. Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. Her podcast, the first 3 episodes, all the clips promoting was bringing up Caitlin Clark. It was bringing up Caitlin Clark in all of the promo. People wanted to know what she was going to say. She used Caitlin Clark as promo.
Now picture this, dropping your biggest marketing campaign in your rival's hometown while she's sidelined and can't even show up. That's what Angel Reese did with her I'm in Your City campaign during All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis. Her Reebok shoe launch came with bold billboards, aggressive social media, and a message that felt like a takeover in Clark's own backyard.
Angel Reese, I'm in your city. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. Post it on Instagram. There's about 15 fans there, and Reebok put up a board. You would expect Reebok to put up a board. Let's never forget that when let's never forget the gigantic Caitlin Clark Nike billboard in Chicago. Let's never forget that. So if Reebok didn't put up a board for Angel Reese,
the timing was either terrible or perfectly calculated, depending on your angle. Reese's team built the whole campaign around being in Indianapolis, fully aware it was Clark's home turf. This wasn't just a shoe launch, it was a statement dropped deep in rival territory.
Is you continue to take shots at her, and then when them shots get fired back, nobody likes it. We don't have no videos of Caitlin Clark really taking shots at Angel Reese. Look at what Angel Reese and Reebok are doing for views. Walk in your trap, take over your trap. This is promo they're doing in Indianapolis, where Caitlin Clark plays. That is a clear shot. It's a clear shot. Like I said, this is a fake rivalry. I think you've won 1 game versus Caitlin Clark. You've never won in Indiana at all. It's just like you continue to attach yourself to her at every turn and use her as promo.
Let's be real. Reese flooded social media with walk in your trap, take over your trap messaging, even backing it with Bankroll Fresh's Take Over Your Trap on her Instagram story. But with Clark sidelined, it came off like she was claiming a win by default. Social media didn't hold back. Some fans called it savvy marketing, but way more saw it as tone-deaf and classless. The reaction? A mix of light jabs and serious criticism, all focused on the questionable timing.
Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word about Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark has never said a negative word, or to be honest, when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she did show it by her actions. She didn't need to say, I'm taking over Chicago. She did, however, go and put up 31 and 12, set a career high with 12 assists, be the only player in the history of the WNBA ever to have 31 and 12 in a game. She did, in fact, do that and then try to hype up the Chicago crowd. So it's fair enough, you want to say, oh, Caitlin Clark did this, then show it with your actions. Go and win MVP. Don't just be like, this is my city. Don't just come in and be like, this is my city. You've never won a game. Has she won a game in Indiana? I don't think she's ever won a game in Indiana. I actually do not think she has won a pro game in Indiana.
Here's where it got interesting. Reese didn't back off when Clark's absence was confirmed. While other players showed respect and dialed down the competition, Reese pushed her campaign full throttle. The contrast was clear. Most All-Stars were there to celebrate the league. Reese, meanwhile, seemed focused on fueling a rivalry with someone who couldn't even suit up.
Now with Reebok she's using, this is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited. Let's be clear here. Yes, she does receive backlash. She does receive negativity, but she has benefited greatly. She has made millions of dollars off of attaching herself to Caitlin Clark and using her to make her brand bigger.
What was meant as a bold flex looked like a win by default. Claiming someone's city while they're injured isn't competition, it's opportunism. One analyst called it a one-sided rivalry. Reese swung at the air while Clark faced real setbacks. The backlash, it showed in the numbers.
This is absolutely a one-sided rivalry. And we've got to say it like it is. Like, we can't say Caitlin needs to do this, Caitlin needs to do that. Let's be real. The only reason this is still a rivalry is because the other side of the rivalry won't stop it. And by the way, it is extremely beneficial for Angel Reese to be in this rivalry.
Want to see Clark's impact? Look at the numbers. Ticket prices crashed from $121 to $64, a 48% drop. It wasn't minor. The market shouted her value. TickPick had the game set for a $262 average until her injury. That record-setting hype? Gone, along with Reese's credibility.
And it's not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, Caitlin Clark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%. From $121 a ticket to $64 a ticket after the news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing."
Clark's impact is superstar economics. When she missed games in May, ticket resale prices dropped 47% in DC and 71% in Chicago. Unheard of. Sponsors scrambled, WNBA packages sold out, arenas filled fast. But without Clark, all that planning felt shaky.
From $121 all the way down to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing. These are people saying, I'm done. I don't want to watch. Caitlin Clark's not. I bought tickets solely to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. I made accommodations solely to get to Indiana to watch Caitlin Clark in the All-Star game. She's injured. I have no interest in that anymore.
Clark's absence rippled far beyond the arena. Merch sales, concessions, and hotel bookings in Indy all took a hit. Local businesses had prepped for a tourism surge. Restaurants stocked up, hotels sold out. But without Clark, the crowds never came. It exposed the WNBA's dependence on one player. Having a star like her is a massive boost, but it's also risky. When she's out, the whole structure shakes. No other WNBA player moves the needle like Caitlin Clark.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud butts. Everybody watches the stud butts. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Heiderman, man. Listen, stud butts stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
Angel Reese just had her worst game, and the Chicago Sky somehow looked more competitive. She had 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 turnovers, nearly a triple-double of the wrong kind. The team committed 23 turnovers total. But here's the kicker. The Sky looked better with Reese on the bench. The numbers aren't backing her up as the franchise player.
Tisha Heidemann continues her play that she has done so good. This Rebecca Allen gets it in to Reese. Oh, she walked. Angel Reese. That Reese Collier matchup has been a good one so far tonight. The double team comes and Reese passes it into the backcourt. Heidemann catches up to it. Right into the hand.
The 91-68 score doesn't capture it all. Minnesota methodically tore apart Chicago's game plan from the start. The Lynx controlled every possession and dismantled the Sky quarter by quarter until it looked like two different sports.
It was a nightmare performance. 9 turnovers to 3 assists. And like some of these were like calamitous turnovers. Like I don't know what she's trying to, obviously, I don't know where she's trying to release the ball from there. Like she shoots shot from her hip right then. I don't know what she's trying to do here. I really don't know what she's trying to do. She takes, I don't even know. I don't even know what she's trying to do on this turnover.
Great teams don't ease up. They finish the job. The Lynx played like they had a vendetta, staying aggressive all 40 minutes. While others might coast with a lead, Minnesota kept pressing, making Chicago look helpless offensively.
Nafisa Collier, stirred the pot, stirred the pot, stirred the pot. She was cooking her. 8 of 16 from the field, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 50% from the floor. Kayla McBride, 8 of 14, 3 of 7 from 3. I mean, everybody's a plus. Plus 29, plus 21, plus 23, plus 27, plus 21. Everybody's a 20 plus for the Minnesota Lynx.
Chicago shot just 39.3% from the field, proof of how smothering Minnesota's defense was. Every possession was a struggle, with forced shots and hesitant passes. Shooting under 40% in the pros signals a broken offensive system.
The Sky really suck. Like, the Sky are now 2 games behind the LA Sparks.
The Lynx are now 21-4, adding another dominant win in a potentially historic season. They're not just winning, they're crushing teams at home. Meanwhile, the Sky dropped to 7-16, now 4 games out of the final playoff spot. With time running out, their postseason hopes are nearly gone.
Angel Reese, 451, let's get it! Bang!
Angel's Island, like Epstein's Island. Apparently no one's there.
How about it? Bang!
Another day, another dollar to make me holler for some more
me-bombs!
Come on, give me that!
Bang!
The Sky didn't just get outplayed, they looked outclassed, like they didn't belong on the same court. Minnesota forced a season-high 23 turnovers, making their defense look historic. That's not just bad execution, it's a sign of serious issues with ball security and basketball IQ throughout Chicago's roster.
Especially with this girl turning the ball over 8 and 9 times a game. Last game before the game before she sat out before All-Star break, she had like 7 turnovers, and y'all act like it didn't matter. It's so funny. It's so funny. Y'all are turnover police and turnover merchants when it comes to everybody else. Well, technically not everybody else, just Caitlin Clark, who averages like 9-10 assists a game. Y'all are turnover merchants when it comes to her, but y'all act like y'all don't see this girl turning the ball over 9 and 10 times a game, and she cannot handle the ball. She's not a point forward. Y'all gotta cut it out. Just cut it out, man.
This wasn't just a loss for Chicago. This was a complete exposure of their fundamental flaws as a team that relies too heavily on individual performances instead of cohesive team basketball. Speaking of individual performances, one player's stat line perfectly captured everything wrong with the Sky's approach.
Angel Reese did, however, continue her double-double streak, 11 points, 11 rebounds. So she continues her double-doubles, McDoubles, you know what I'm saying?
Angel Reese had 11 points and 11 rebounds, but still looked like the worst player on the floor at times. Her 9 career-high turnovers erased any positives. When your franchise player gives the ball away that much, it's not just bad, it's sabotaging your team's chances.
Angel Reese had 9 turnovers. Yo, listen, y'all gotta stop with this point forward foolishness, man. Let's take a look, man. Hold on, man. Y'all be wildin'. Y'all be wildin', son. Bruh, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, yo. Y'all gotta stop. You.
Reese's double-doubles built her reputation, But this game exposed how hollow they can be when paired with major mistakes. She repeatedly gave the ball away, turning routine passes into gifts for Minnesota. Every time Chicago gained momentum, another Reese turnover shut it down.
All right, y'all have to accept the fact this girl is not Alyssa Thomas. Can y'all just stop playing games now? Can y'all just stop playing games now? This girl is not Alyssa Thomas. Y'all, Foulon, y'all been turnover police. She had another 9 turnovers today. 9 turnovers to 3 assists. A minus 19. 9 turnovers to 3 assists. And y'all keep trying to act like this girl's a point forward. Y'all got to stop playing games, man. Stop playing games, bro.
Reese's 9 turnovers weren't flukes. They were fundamental breakdowns. She threw no-look passes to Lynx players, traveled in the post, and made wild passes out of bounds. Even under light pressure near half court, she kept losing the ball. Basic skills simply failed her.
Come on, man. Traveling, just traveling, just doing all types of stuff. Like, what? Yo, the sky is bad.
This game exposed Reese's flaws as a point forward, a role needing ball handling, vision, and smart decisions. She had 3 assists and 9 turnovers, a ratio that would shame even a high school player. Though she's tied with Elena Del Don at 42. Career double-doubles in fewer games, that stat hides major weaknesses. Critics now question whether her numbers actually help her team win, and this game gave them plenty of proof.
Bro, y'all have to stop playing games. She's not a point forward, bro. Stop playing games. Look, where are you? First of all, you're making a post entry from the logo, from the half court marker. Where are you going with the ball? Where are you going with the ball? Why would you try to make a post entry from right there, man?
Reese picked up her 7th technical foul of the season, now leading the league and sitting 1 away from suspension. Stemmed from a minor verbal exchange, highlighting her lack of composure when her team needed steady leadership most.
Can somebody explain to me why Angel Reese keeps driving at Klindakova? Like, Klindakova has literally blocked Angel Reese 6 times this season. By herself. Like, she got free throws on this. I don't know how. And then, she immediately tries to start a fight with somebody. And gets teed up. And is like, 1 off a suspension. She gets swatted. Hits the deck. Like, there's absolutely no foul in that. She gets a good whistle. Jumps up and then goes at somebody on the other team. Who's she go at? She goes at Diamond Miller, her former Maryland teammate. And like, Angel's 1 tech off a suspension as well.
This game showed the gap between stat padding and winning basketball. While Reese hunted rebounds and racked up turnovers, Nafisa Collier and Kayla McBride each scored 19 points by playing within the offense. Their smart cuts, open threes, and efficient post-ups came without forcing shots or dominating the ball. Just clean, team-first basketball.
Now, am I surprised that they blew them out? No. Minnesota Lynx probably the 2nd best team in the league after the New York Liberty, in my opinion. And the Chicago Sky are the gum on the bottom of the shoe of the league. So we knew this would happen, but we are not seeing the continued growth from the Chicago Sky players. I mean, Camila Cardosa, 4 of 12. She had 10 and 10. But you expecting her to play, 4 of 12, you expected more than that. Angel Reese was 4 of 8, 11 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 9 turnovers. She was a minus 19.
Courtney Williams added 10 points and 7 assists, showing how the Lynx thrive through balanced team play. She kept the offense flowing, creating chances while scoring when needed. With threats at every position, Chicago couldn't lock in on one player. Minnesota's team-first approach overwhelmed the Sky's defense, proving once again that team basketball beats individual talent every time.